Next up on the GC, tough times, when life just doesn't seem fair. Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. I think we'll all agree that sometimes life can be really tough. And you know what? Being a Christian doesn't give you a free pass either. You know, Jesus said, in this world you will have troubles. But he also went on to say, take heart, because I've overcome the world. Now we can all have that same power to overcome every obstacle that life throws our way. But the scripture says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Now let me give you a real-life example, my own divorce. Now trust me, this was the worst time of my life. My wife had left me. There was nothing I could do. There was no talking her out of it, no changing her mind. She just simply decided one day, this woman that I loved, decided that she no longer wanted to be married. So she left. I was lonely. I was depressed. I was almost inconsolable. And I was hurting so much emotionally that it actually manifested itself physically. There were times that I cried so hard, my body actually convulsed with pain. Let me tell you that that's still putting it mildly, because I really don't have words to describe the pain that I felt. I will say it was a pain that I wouldn't wish even on my worst enemy. It was that bad. Now, I went through all phases, from devastation and despair to guilt and anger, bitterness, resentment, you name it. There were times when I questioned myself, what could I have done to have been a better husband? Was this somehow my fault? How could I have made things different or better for her? How could I have prevented this from happening? Eventually, I stopped blaming myself, and I started blaming her. And I began to despise her for the hell that she had put me through. Now, eventually, all that began to melt away, and I did begin to heal. It took a long time, though. But the reason it took so long really was because of my own stubbornness. There were things that I was holding on to, the hurt, the anger, the resentment, things I really needed to let go of. See, those things just eat away at you, and they only serve to tear you down. And ultimately, I realized that I was the one keeping myself in that hell that I was living in. That same hell that I was still blaming her for. Well, thankfully, I had a wonderful, loving family. I had a mother and father who prayed for me. I also was blessed with a few good friends who really cared for me, as well as people at my church who cared enough to pray for me. And as if that weren't enough, I also had one other very important thing going for me, an ace in the hole, as it were, my relationship with a loving God. And I dare say that I wouldn't have survived the experience otherwise. See, only God could get me through. Only God could take all those shattered pieces of my heart and put it back together, because He was the one who formed it to begin with. Only God was able to lift my spirit up again, because He was the one who had breathed it into me. And honestly, if I could step into a time machine, go back in time, and avoid ever getting involved with that one who I married, that one who left me and hurt me so very deeply, I wouldn't change a thing. Why? Well, because there were also good times, very good times. There was happiness. There was a joy that was shared for a season that I wouldn't trade for anything in the world. The good that I experienced was worth all the pain that I later endured. And the lessons that I learned are invaluable. Sometimes life can seem very unfair. And you may feel like you're going through some things that you don't deserve to have to experience. But I believe that everything happens for a reason. Even those things that hurt the most and seem to make the least sense. If you love the Lord and rely on Him for your strength, I don't believe that He's going to lead you to anything that He won't go ahead and lead you right on through. And in the end, He'll use that experience to help make you a better person. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that all things work together for the good of them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose." So, my friends, when life's trials get you down, look up. Give it all to Him. Dude, He's got this. See you next time on the GC.